guys, this is Tina from Quantum Healing with Tina. I'm a BQH practitioner, intuitive empath, and spirit releasement therapist. Welcome to my video. Today I'm going to talk to empaths specifically, but everyone really, about boundaries and how to set boundaries with people as an empath, because so often we just get lost in everyone else's energy because we don't have our field set up to handle anything else. So we need to understand our own energy and how we function. So in order to do that, we need to get out into nature, into quiet places, away from people and Wi-Fi and things and all the busyness of life, to really feel what our own energy feels like, right? Because so often we're just getting washed out by people and we don't have a strong enough field to interact without being taken over and absorbing everybody's stuff, right? So we need to learn what we feel like alone without other people around us all the time. It took me like 40 years to learn that. And I'm still learning every day how to function as an empath. But I just want to share a few things that I've learned with you. So maybe they will help you. So yeah, understanding our own energy and what we feel like when we're not around other people. For so long, I thought I had anxiety. I thought I was just a naturally anxious person. But what I realized in my 40s is that it was never mine. I was always absorbing everyone else's anxiety. I lived in a chaotic household as a child and was an anxious child, although I didn't know what to call it. But looking back, I was very anxious because our household was so chaotic. And then throughout life, in general, just being around people who were anxious but didn't own it. It was like they were secretly anxious. And I was picking up on that and making it my own, right? Because so often we do that as empaths. We make everything our own and we don't ask the questions, is this mine or is this someone else's? For a while, it really kind of like took me a while to grasp the idea that I could be feeling someone else's emotions, and even longer to realize that I was picking up on other people's physical pain, which is something a little bit new to me as of recently. Picking up on people's physical pain is like totally like mind blown from that. But anyway, so yes, understanding our own energy and what that feels like away from other people is so important. And the best way I found for me to do that was just to be alone. Just go out in nature or find a quiet space and really feel into yourself. Because so often we're just so outwardly focused and feeling everyone else. So before you can even set boundaries, you have to understand your own energy. And then when you understand that a little bit, you can, as empaths, we're just naturally people pleasers. We want everyone to be okay because if they're okay, then we're okay, right? It's really actually self-serving because we don't want them to feel bad, because then that's going to make us feel bad because we're going to feel what they're feeling. So a lot of times that's why empaths avoid confrontation or avoid telling people hard things, because they know it's going to upset them and then they're going to have to feel that frustration or anger or disappointment, whatever it is, from them. And it's also the response of the body. When faced with confrontation, we go into that trauma response. The body just freezes. We just freeze when we're confronted with a situation or a strong personality and we don't know how to handle it. The best tip I can give for that is start saying no to people, not while they're in your presence per se, because you get washed over and freeze, Start saying no through text or email, or even go into like on Facebook groups or whatever, and start speaking your truth. Not in a mean way, but just start speaking your truth and see how that feels, right, in your body, because it's going to feel uncomfortable at first. However, the more you do it, the less uncomfortable it will be, and it will just be a normal thing for you to do. And that's how you kind of start to get the ball rolling and learn how to stand up for yourself and set boundaries with people. The other thing, you want to learn how to, instead of absorbing people all the time, just walking into a room and being the victim of everybody's energy, you want to learn how to put out your energy instead of taking on everybody else's. So projecting your own energy out into your field and setting up that boundary around you energetically and not taking on everybody's stuff. You just have to visualize it and really make the intention that you're going to project your own energy out instead of absorbing it. So it's about being offensive instead of defensive all the time, because we're just always kind of like, putting the shield up to block everybody's stuff. But if you come at it from a different perspective and be offensive instead of defensive, it's really that simple. And when you start to do that, you'll get better and better at remaining in your own energy and not taking on everybody else's. Another thing, you have to stop caring so much what other people think, because you're not going to please everyone. That's just a fact. Like 2 years ago, I could have never even thought about doing a video. It was just so out there to me. I would never do it. But I'm finally at a place in my life where I just don't care anymore. I don't care what people think about me. Not everyone is going to like me, and that's totally fine. I'm totally fine with that. Another thing, extract yourself from toxic people and situations that you know aren't good for you. A lot of times we get stuck in these codependent relationships, especially with narcissists, and we know they're not good for us, but we stay there anyway thinking we can handle it, and we can't. No one can handle it. Like, it just slowly eats away at your soul, and you will never be able to handle them energetically, because they're always throwing daggers at you. Even though you think you can handle it, you can't. Energetically, you just can't. So removing yourself from toxic people and situations that you know deep down aren't good for you. You don't even need to put a label on it. If you're questioning whether this relationship is good for you or not, you know deep down that it's not. So removing yourself from those things and getting to know what you feel like, what your own energy and body feel like apart from those relationships. And setting boundaries with those people you're in relationships with, and not accepting less than you deserve anymore, because you deserve so much more than that. So yeah, you want to get to a point where you can build your own etheric field and aura without building walls. Because so often we can get so damaged by people that we just start building walls around us, right? We got concrete walls all around us and nobody can hurt us anymore. But that's not the way to go. You have to get to a place where you balance having an open heart and also protecting yourself from people and situations that aren't good for you, that are unhealthy for you and toxic for you. So instead of building walls, just build your own etheric body, build your aura, and make it so strong that no one can penetrate it with their energy. And the last thing I want to say is, so often when we first find out that we're an empath, it can feel like a curse, right? Because you're just at everybody's whim, right? You're just being attacked by energy all the time, and I'm an empath, I can't do that, or I can't be there, I can't be around you, or whatever. But this is really a gift. Like when you are an empowered empath and tapped in and connected and really know who you are as a person, as an empath, as a divine sovereign being of the light, there's just no stopping you, and you can manifest anything your heart desires. So just keep taking those baby steps. Do the hard things, because it is hard. It's hard to set boundaries with people. It's hard to say no. It's hard to do things that make us uncomfortable, right? But if we always stay in our comfortable little box, then we're never going to grow. We have to make ourselves uncomfortable in order to have the growth and evolution that we want and that we deserve as empaths and as human beings. So I really want you to learn how to empower yourself and understand your gifts and how amazing it is to be able to feel. It's the most amazing thing once you learn how to manage it. It's just about learning how to manage it and looking at it in a positive instead of negative way. It's not a curse. It's a blessing. It's a gift that you just haven't learned how to fully tap into and manage yet. So I hope these tips have been helpful. Let me know in the comments down below what it feels like, what you do to empower yourself as an empath. And please like this video, share it with your friends, your empath friends, and subscribe to my channel for future fun stuff. Sending you all so much love. I'll see you next time. Talk soon. Bye-bye.